We definitely gotta get into that. And there's a lot to talk about with this. So, first, let's go with the first team. You got Giannis, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, you got Nikola Jokic, and you got Jason Tatum. Fun fact about this first team: they're all at the age 27 or younger. For the first time since 1954. This is the first time we had a 27 or younger first team since the 1950s. Pretty good fact. Pretty cool fact right there. Very, very, very interesting. So let's continue with the first team. You also have for the second team, all NBA second team now. Stephen Curry, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Ja Morant. And finally, all NBA third team, you got LeBron James, Chris Paul, Pascal Siakam, Kat, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Trae Young. So, with these awards, you want to look at the ballots too, right? You want to see how they were voted, right? So there are some really cool things to point out here before we start our discussion. Point number one, Giannis has 100 first team votes. Unanimous. Unanimous first team vote. I think that's significant. Let's also look further, right? Particularly, we want to look at Joel Embiid. He's all second team, right?
Yeah.
He's all second team. And a lot of this does have, we got to talk about this too. They have to vote a certain way. They can only vote from one center. So I think that has to do with it. They can also choose like forwards too. So I don't know. It all depends, right?
They go by basically the position that you play the most, and they have to pick one at each position, technically, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we had to have a discussion about that too. But yeah, these are basically how the votes tallied out. See, what the cool thing is here, like focus on this real quick. You see Jason Tatum, he had a total of 390 points, right? Joel Embiid had 414. So technically he would be in there if he was like a forward. Right?
Right.
So that all this kind of matters. Right? Everything else kind of balances itself out. However, I want to point out one more thing. They also had this note on NBA.com too. They also talked about other players that received votes. Look at the centers. Rudy Gobert received some third team votes and some second team votes. Your boy Bam Adebayo, he received some votes, right? Look at the forwards. Jimmy Butler, he received some. Jaylen Brown. That's a typo for them. It's supposed to be Desmond Bane, not Desmond Bane, but Desmond Bane received the vote. And Chris Middleton. Last but not least, look at these guards. You got Donovan Mitchell. Understandable. Bridges. Understandable. Drew Holiday. Understandable.
Yeah.
DeJounte Murray. Understandable. Kyrie Irving. Received the vote. And guess what? We found out who it was. We found out who voted for Kyrie.
Who voted for Kyrie?
Your boy, who we all respect, Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose. Bruh, but the news first released about somebody voting for Kyrie, everybody was like, who voted for Kyrie? And to find out it was Jalen Rose, because I was thinking it was someone from the Brooklyn Nets, right? You know, sometimes they have local beat writers vote sometimes, right? So I'm like, it was somebody like that, okay. Jalen actually owned up to it. He was talking about it was a mistake. But Jalen, we're not gonna let you live this down, brother. We're not gonna let you live this down for a while. So, Kyrie Irving? But he ain't played most of the season.
Oh
man. And how, man, I don't know. I can't justify that. And the thing is, it wasn't a mistake.
Oh
He
man.
knew what he was doing. He admitted it was a mistake afterwards, but he purposely voted him in. I don't know.
Jalen Rose, man.
I like Jalen Rose too, but that's ridiculous.
Jalen Rose is a real one, man.
I'm glad he owned up to it and admitted it, though. I give him that. He admitted it too. He admitted to it.
Hey man, we all make mistakes. We ball. Oh man, that one is yeah. Come on, J Rose. Oh man.
Dang.
But it's all good. He owned it. He
did.
Oh.
Besides from that, let's talk about this list, man. This first team, remember we had Booker made the list, right?
Yeah.
He had a good first season. He had a good regular season. He really did. We also had the only person. So the main thing about the first team is I truly do believe that Embiid should be on this list. I believe he should be a first team candidate. He was an MVP candidate. If you're an MVP candidate, that means if you're an MVP candidate, that means you're definitely like one of the top players in the league. He was a finalist. He was a runner-up, like top 3. So he should be at least on the first team. But the fact that he's not, and that means you'll have to kick someone off. So that means, of course, I'm gonna kick off Jason Tatum, based on this right here, because he's not a guard. That's the only reason why. But that's the thing, though. I wish we could just vote. I wish I could just vote 5. This is mostly positionless basketball now. The league has changed. Just vote whoever. It doesn't matter the position.
Right. I mean, that's what we do for all-star games now. You can have a starting team of guards, basically, if you wanted to, because they don't really go by the position. Like you said, it's positionless basketball at this point. It's kind of weird how the NBA does these type of rankings and stuff, because yes, Jokic's position is center, and Jason Tatum plays small forward, but he also plays power forward. But at some point, I've seen teams go and be small, and Jason Tatum can be a center, literally. So why is it that that they have to like make a gate for positions in this category or whatever? I feel like Joel Embiid definitely should be in the first team. If you finish second in MVP voting, you're like considered to be one of the top players. In my opinion, you should be like top 3 players in the league if that's where you finish up. But I agree with you. It's just kind of weird how they do it. I probably would move Tatum to the second team if it was just pick 5 players, the top 5 players from that season. Mm-hmm. I'll probably go that way as well. I mean, I'm not mad at it because I think that all of these guys are worthy of first team for sure.
Knowing how they had to vote, I'm not upset at it. And Jokic actually won MVP, so he definitely had to be first team.
Yep.
So I'm not mad about just because of the system of how they vote. Hopefully they look at that, right? Because some players are losing out on some money here. Some players are losing out because they have bonuses attached to this stuff.
Yeah.
So they could be missing on some good money because of how this system is set up. But other than that, I think we both agree first team is all good, right? The only thing about second team, you got Steph, DeMar, KD, Embiid, and Ja Morant. I'm okay with that list too. Again, I think based on some things, we'll probably move some people to the first team, like Joel Embiid. I could potentially make an argument about Ja Morant potentially being the first team. I can make an argument on Ja. DeMar kind of fell off after the middle of the season, so I don't think I'll put him first team. Steph Curry didn't have the best regular season. He had one of his worst shooting percentages this past season, regular season. Postseason, he's been great. Regular season, So I think I would still keep him on the second team. KD, of course, I understand that. Yeah, I can make an argument for Joel Embiid and John Morant to go to the first team, and that means you got to take someone off. So, like I said, I would probably move Tatum to second team, and I would also probably move Booker.
Yep.
To second team to have John Morant up there. So that's because when you do these things, it's also important to say who would you replace them with. So that's how I go. You got anything about the second team?
I think we're on the same page, man. For me, first team, you gotta keep Luka, you gotta keep Giannis, obviously, and Jokic. Book and Tatum are a little bit more interchangeable. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with you. I would do the same thing if I could, but I'm not mad at how it's arranged, but yeah, I'm with you. Same.
Some other notable things about this. This is KD's 10th All-NBA team selection. This is pretty great. This is the 8th one for Curry. This is DeMar's 3rd. And you also think about this for Embiid. He was also the scoring champion. The scoring champion on the second team, that's also an argument that can be in the favor of Embiid.
Yeah.
And lastly, you go ahead. You got something else about the second team?
Embiid is. I'm thinking about team success as well. Just in the regular season, not even count playoffs, but Embiid and the Sixers were at some points, first. They never dropped more than like 4th seed, I believe. So that was
good point. But at the same time, the only thing about Jokic is that his team was unhealthy.
Yeah.
So that's the argument that they will make for Jokic. So yeah. Good point. Good point though. Good point.
Yeah, I wouldn't move Jokic though. It's honestly. I wouldn't move Jokic though.
I'll keep him center. I say just find someone to get Embiid on there too. That's it. Like I'm not arguing for moving Jokic. So yeah, keep Jokic there. I just need put Joel and Embiid in there somewhere. All-NBA 3rd team got LeBron, Chris Paul, Siakam, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Trae Young. So I understand Trae Young had a good scoring season. I can't think of another guard that I would put there. They talked about some others. Thinking about.
You wouldn't put Kyrie Irving there?
No, thinking about. I'm thinking about your boy. Thinking about Jimmy Butler. It would be nice to see one of the Heat players make this list. At least one of them. At least Jimmy.
Yeah.
But you're more a Heat fan. How was his season overall, regular season? Jimmy Butler.
For Jimmy?
He's hurt. Yeah, I know he's hurt in a point or two, but overall, did he have a good season that was all NBA worthy? He did get some votes. He got some 13 votes.
Yeah. If anything, I would give him like 13 for sure. He had a good scoring season. When he wasn't injured or, when he was available, he was always, I can't remember his average, I have to look, but he was solid scorer. Obviously, he's defensive guy, but I think he could probably take the 3rd team spot of Siakam, maybe. Siakam also missed a lot of time missed some time in the first half of the season too, but I would put him there. Yeah. But I'm not tripping on it. And, that's Heat culture. We don't really look for our guys to be recognized, even though we believe in them to be better than the public. So, I think Jimmy could make that spot for sure.
Jimmy averaged 21 points, 5 rebounds, about 6 rebounds, and around 6 assists. He shot 48% from the field. And 23% from 3.
Yeah.
In fact, the field goal percentage is decent, about 50%. PER 23 is decent. You could probably make an argument, but I think Trae Young had an a better stat season.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking at basketball reference real quick. Yeah, he averaged 28 points, close to 10 assists, 46% from the field, 38% from three. Yeah. Trey. Yeah, I can understand. Based on his stats, I knew that was the biggest argument for Trey. His stats, averaging almost 30 points a game. That definitely gets you some looks. And a lot of this goes by stats because clearly not everyone in the media watches every player. You have to look at stats. So, yeah. Yeah, so I don't really have many complaints. Yeah. Overall, yeah, that's your all NBA team, you know. There you
Solid,
go.
man. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Shout out to these guys, man. Shout out to the first team, all 27 and younger, the youth. I think the NBA wants to push the future real quick, you know.
Yeah, the NBA is transitioning. Transitioning, man. The league is transitioning to these young players. Y'all pray for Jalen Rose. Pray for Jalen Rose, man. Pray that God keeps his mind. And, help him be mentally sound and avoid and be safe from all the haters. Because people are trolling and dragging Jalen Rose. They're dragging Jalen Rose on NBA Twitter, man.
I got mad respect for Jalen Rose, man. Hey, he made a mistake. Let him be, people. Let him be.